Thanks so much for joining us for Season 3 of the Stories Unveiled podcast. Stories Unveiled exists to create a platform for people to share hope through their personal stories of what Jesus has done in their life. Each episode highlights a different guest, just like you and I, wading through this life that can get so messy. I hope this conversation proves helpful and encourages you to go live unveiled. Today, Nia Mostacero is joining me in the studio. Nia is an Idaho pageant winner, currently serving as Miss Meridian. She is an advocate for young onset dementia education and awareness and serves faithfully in that community. Nia is a mom and grandma, and one of her favorite things to do is spend time with her granddaughter. I am honored to have her with me today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna start. You have a grandbaby, which I have to say I cannot believe. I cannot believe that you are a grandma, but you have a grandbaby. How old is she?
Olivia is 2 years old.
Oh, such a fun season, such a fun stage. What is your favorite thing about being a grandma?
My favorite thing about being a grandma is the fact that they had her at this stage in my life to where I can still enjoy her, I can still remember her, I can still play with her, and she's 2, so she's very vocal, she's intelligent, she's brilliant, and she's learning from me.
Yeah.
I'm able to give her some of my knowledge and my love, all my love.
Yeah, that's awesome. We were talking just before this, but how I don't know what it's like to be a grandma, and I am excited for one day to have that happen, but is being a grandma kind of the best of both worlds, like it is being a parent, where you just get to love just unconditionally this little thing that is sort of from you, or, you know, a little bit because it's from your child, but you don't really have to raise them, so you don't kind of have the pains of motherhood and child rearing. You kind of get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. It's sort of like you get to love your child because your child's an adult now, but you get to love them all over again and go through the stages of life with them all over again. And it's just pure love.
Yeah, I love that. That's what my parents say too, because I have 3 kids, so that's what they say. That's amazing. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to talk about. You are seriously so amazing. All that you do and just everything that you have gone through and kind of your life's journey. So I kind of just want to touch on a few things. We'll start with the obvious. You are wearing a Miss Meridian sash. Tell me about that. You are Miss Meridian, is that correct?
Yes, I'm Miss Meridian, Idaho, 2024.
That's amazing.
And I've been titled ever since September of 23.
Okay, so September of 24 is when that ends, so to speak. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then you have to give up the sash, or do you get to keep the sash?
I get to keep it. It's got all my beautiful pins.
I love that.
I'm keeping it.
That's amazing. Can you tell me about the pageant life, just what the last year has kind of brought of being Miss Meridian, Idaho?
Well, for me, it's been the biggest and greatest thing has been the sisterhood. I've gained so many sisters on this journey they're incredible.
Yeah.
Their platforms are meaningful.
Yeah.
I really do think we can solve all the world's problems if they just give it to us.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so there's shows and there's movies and there's all sorts of stuff about, you know, pageants and whatever. But is that just not necessarily the case? And maybe teens, maybe, I don't know, but adult women, like it really is a sisterhood. They really are just kind and are cheering for each other. Absolutely.
This class is incredible. We cheer for each other. We show up for each other. I think it's because we're a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
You know, that we are able to see the best in each other, and we really want each other to win.
Yeah, that's amazing. We all should be that way.
Absolutely.
In everything. What made you want to join a pageant, to participate in a pageant in this capacity?
Well, it was on my bucket list.
Okay.
I have a list of things that I want to accomplish before I go to heaven.
Okay.
And being in a pageant was one of them. And when I moved here from Texas in 2021.
Okay.
I had the pleasure of meeting Miss Boise Metro.
Okay.
And she also was a woman of color. And I just thought, wow, it's so, it's diverse here, even though it's not.
Right.
But it's just, I just was blown away by her and her platform and what all the good things she was doing for the city.
That's amazing.
And she encouraged me to sign up. And I said, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
I think I can. So I did.
That's awesome. And here you are. And you are Miss Meridian, Idaho. That's amazing. Well, it inspires me. I was like, what?
You should.
No way. That's
You would be a Mrs.
I would be a Mrs. That's true. I would be a Mrs. And I actually didn't even know if they had that, like if you can do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's amazing. So tell me, every pageant contestant has to have a platform. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so tell me about your platform.
Mine is Memories Matter, combating young onset dementia stigmas.
Okay. Explain what that organization is.
For me, fighting and advocating for awareness and education of young onset dementia has been my life's purpose since I was diagnosed with young onset dementia at the age of 42 in 2017.
That would be like me getting diagnosed.
Yes.
So young.
Yes, I'm 49 now.
Okay.
So my doctor at the time, my neurologist, gave me 5 to 7 good years of living, 5 to 8 good years.
Wow.
And I'm in my 7th year now.
Yeah?
I'm still hanging in there, so I'm defying the odds.
That's amazing. So you have early or young onset dementia.
I do.
Tell me about that.
So I have traumatic brain injuries from child abuse, and they have resulted in a lot of memory loss and coordination problems, executive functioning problems, things like that.
Yeah.
And my last brain scan revealed CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is a form of dementia.
Okay.
Normally, people that are in the sports arena or people that have been, I am retired military, but I didn't see the fight in that way.
Yeah.
When I deployed to where bombs were going off around me and having head injuries that way, mine is from child trauma.
Oh, man. So tell me about some of the things that you deal with. Like, what are some of the symptoms that you experience just daily?
I experience brain fog pretty much daily.
Really?
I no longer really do very well with basic math, so I have things in place to help me to pay my bills. Driving, I can only drive short distances and in places that I'm familiar. I have coordination problems. I walk into walls because I don't see them. I walk into steps because I don't see them. Visual acuity problems, I guess you would say. I have maintained my long-term memory very well, and my vocabulary is still pretty good, but my short-term memory is compromised.
Okay. Wow. So what does daily life kind of look like for you if these are things that you have to overcome, like by the afternoon or evening? Do you have fatigue?
Absolutely.
So by the evening, are you like, I'm going to bed? Or?
Yes. I'm on a brain stimulant that keeps me a little bit focused and helps my attention throughout the day. But by, say, about 5 o'clock, my neurofatigue has taken over and I don't really do a lot of activities after 5 or 6.
Yeah. So how does that affect, so you're sitting here with me having a conversation, and I don't know if this is stress-inducing or not, but I don't know if that even matters, but you've done pageants and again, I don't know much about them except for the fact that you probably talk to a lot of people. You sit and you answer lots of questions, and you have to walk across a stage, probably multiple stages, depending on, the level of competition and such, but how have you seen this affect that part of your life, or has it really?
The pageant was difficult.
Was it?
It was very difficult, and it took me about a week, literally a week, to recover.
Really?
Mentally and, physically, everything.
Yeah.
I I was blessed. Everywhere I go, I'm blessed. In that previously, the interview took place on the same morning as the pageant. The pageant would be in the evening.
Okay.
Well, this year it changed to where.
Great.
Yes, I prayed for it too.
Yeah. Did you?
I did.
Because that would have been a long, hard day for you. By the end of the day, you'd have, like, you may not have been on your top.
I wouldn't have been able
game.
to perform.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they moved the interview to Friday. And the pageant was on Saturday. So I thank the Lord. I just felt like, you know, he just blesses me all the time.
That's amazing.
Makes provisions all the time.
Yeah. That's so great. Tell me a little bit about how did you know, or what made you think that you might have dementia? I mean, how does one even come to that? Because I'm like, I forget things all the time, you know?
Absolutely.
But like
and I get it. That's what it started off as.
Really?
Like just forgetting basic things. And I've been so astute in my educational journey. You know, I have 7 degrees
Oh my gosh.
and certifications. I loved learning.
Yeah.
And I would have still been learning because I was going to start my doctorate.
Okay.
But I was having trouble in school, in my classes.
And that wasn't normal.
That was not normal. I was a class speaker for my undergraduate. You know, I had very high marks. And for my master's degree and for certifications, I knocked everything out.
Yeah.
But at work, because I was still in the military
Okay.
when I started having issues, and I was forgetting meetings. My behavior, I was having lots of mood swings. I thought I had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Dementia never crossed my mind.
Right.
You know, so when the neurologist sat me down with my brain scan results, I was, in my mind, I was going to get this tumor removed and I was going to go back to normal.
In your head, you were like, all right, I have a tumor, we're going to get it fixed, we're going to get it removed, I'm going to go back, we're going to be good.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But he had this really solemn demeanor. And, you know, he told me that at first he thought it was Alzheimer's. So he diagnosed me with young onset Alzheimer's, dementia. So I had that diagnosis for about 3 years.
Okay.
And then I was re-scanned. And that's when they discovered all of the areas that have been compromised on my brain. And we kind of put 2 and 2 together. I took a lot of, you know, knocks to the head when I was a child.
Wow.
And that's where the TBIs came from.
Yeah.
Traumatic brain injuries. But
so you didn't know you had TBI or multiple traumatic brain injuries prior to?
I didn't. I just thought that, okay, I have attention problems. I have to work harder because I worked very hard in school.
Okay.
And, you know, sticky notes galore, you know, notepads, calendars, just using all the things from recorders in class and getting extra attention from the instructors, you know, so that I can do well.
Yeah.
I just thought that was my way of learning.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia? Because you said you initially got a diagnosis of Alzheimer's dementia. Explain to me the difference between that.
So when you think of an umbrella, dementia is the umbrella.
Got it.
And the raindrops are the different types of dementias.
Okay.
So you've got Alzheimer's, you've got frontal temporal dementia, Lewy bodies, what I have, CTE. There's over 100 different types of dementias.
Oh my gosh, and Alzheimer's is just one of them.
It's just one.
Happens to be probably one of the most known of the dementias.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, that's helpful, thank you.
But there's lots of us out here.
Yeah.
We just don't get the attention.
Yeah. So that's your platform.
Absolutely.
For what you do with that, because obviously it's so near and dear to your heart and raising awareness and education. And so what do you do for this particular organization that you have the platform for, Miss Meridian?
So I volunteer with the Alzheimer's Association. I'm on the Dementia Action Alliance Advisory Board.
Okay.
I volunteer with the National Council of Dementia Minds, and I'm a part of the Black Dementia Minds support group.
Wow.
Those are my dementia groups that I'm involved with, and I love it. It brings me so much joy seeing people that are like me, you know, because you don't really, I asked my neurologist, I said, do you have anybody? I actually asked my new neurologist just this week, a couple of days ago, I said, do you have any people in their 40s, and she said not many.
Yeah. Are they older or younger?
They're older.
They're older, okay, because it's typical to
wait.
Yeah.
You know, I find that people probably just say, oh, like you, not saying you have anything.
No, I know.
But say, you know, oh, I'm just forgetful. That's just a part of age. And then they don't get checked out until it's progressed to later stages.
Yeah.
And at that time, your quality of life is compromised and you can't really do anything. So I find that I'm very, very, I just want to get the word out to get treatment and detection early on.
Wow.
You know, so that your quality of life is good.
Well, yeah,
you can get on medications.
They gave you 6 to 8, and here you are in your 7th year and still doing well, I'm assuming. I mean,
I have my moments,
right.
You know, I have my challenges, but I'm not in later stages the way that he thought I would be.
Yeah, praise God.
Amen.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about, you mentioned you're in the military. You're retired. Did you retire because of your diagnosis?
I was diagnosed 4 months after I retired.
Oh, okay.
The testing started while I was in the military, and my provider at the time, she told me that if I didn't retire, that she probably would have medically retired me.
You.
Because I was having so many issues, you know, from personality conflicts to mood swings, memory problems, performance problems that just weren't me, you know?
Yeah. So what made you decide to get into the military?
My turbulent childhood, obviously, that wasn't good. And I ran away and joined the Air Force. And it was the best thing that God could have ever done for me, besides giving me a son and a grandchild.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you enjoyed your time in the Air Force?
I absolutely loved it.
And what did you do in the Air Force?
I was a medical admin by trade.
Okay.
But when I retired, I was doing first sergeant duty.
That's awesome.
And that was the best job in the world.
Yeah. Sad to retire, sad to leave, and
I guess you would say I was sad to retire because I was sad to leave the people.
Yeah.
But I was so stressed and I wasn't performing very well. And I was high ranking. So I don't feel like I retired on top of my game because of my memory problems. But luckily there was an answer for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an answer that you got after, but it made sense.
It made sense.
And it was God's plan, and it was kind of the next step in what was going to happen anyways.
Absolutely.
So that kind of led you to where you are now.
Yes.
Well, tell me kind of about your faith and how just your faith has played a role in everything that you've been through.
Well, I went through a major depression when I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's for about a year.
Yeah.
I didn't go to church. I stayed in my house. I didn't know advocating, didn't care to do it.
Yeah.
Because when someone tells you, get your affairs in order, watch the movie Still Alice, contact the Alzheimer's Association, and you have 5 to 8 good years,
you're like,
that rocks your world.
Yeah, it does.
It rocks your world. So for me, I went through that major depression, and then something in me, it was probably just one of my angels, my ancestors, somebody just said, just get up. I've got work for you to do. And so one week, I got up and I contacted the Alzheimer's Association, and that started my journey of healing and growth. And then I started going back to church, volunteering to be a greeter, and I realized that God had more for me.
Yeah.
And my faith really, really came into play with helping me to grow and fulfill his purpose for me, which is to advocate.
Yeah. Give people a voice and help.
Absolutely.
Educate people that don't know.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. Well, I ask everybody a similar question at the end of every episode in light of their story. And so for you, I would like to know, what would you tell our listeners that are facing circumstances that just don't seem like they can overcome, where really all the odds seem like they're against them? What would you say to them?
Excellent question. I would say rely on your faith. Whatever your faith is, whatever your unfailing love and desire to please and be obedient to your higher power, our God, I say rely on that and lean on that.
Yeah.
Speak to God, talk to God. You know, ask Him to meet you where you fall short.
Yeah.
That's what helped me, and that's what continues to help me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nia. I just so appreciate you. You are absolutely stunning, and just everything that you do and represent, and you are such an inspiration. And so praying for many more years of beating the odds.
Amen. Thank you. I take it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for today's conversation on the Stories Unveiled podcast. We would love it if you would leave us a rating or a review. If you would like to learn more about Stories Unveiled and our events, go to storiesunveiledconference.com or follow us on Facebook or Instagram at storiesunveiled_. The Stories Unveiled podcast is created in partnership with KTSY and Barefoot Media Ministries. For more encouragement and other podcasts, visit ktsy.org. Have an incredible day and go live unveiled.